The wolf, with a bone stuck in his throat, hired a crane for a hefty sum to extract it. Once the crane did so and asked for payment, the wolf, grinning, refused, saying the crane had already been rewarded by escaping safely. The moral: in serving the wicked, expect no reward and be grateful to escape unharmed. "You're improving," Andrea Stewart remarked to her son, Charles, as he extinguished the flame in his palm. "Thanks, Mom," he grinned. Despite recent spell-casting mishaps, Charles was pleased with his newfound control over witchfire. "How are you and Shannon?" Andrea inquired as Charles dusted himself off after the lesson. "We're good." "Why do you ask?" "Just curious about my son," Andrea said playfully. "Well, sure," Charles replied awkwardly. "But you'd rather I didn't pry into your love life." Charles blushed and nodded. "Don't worry, honey," Andrea reassured. "I won't start reading your mind. Just be smart and be safe." "Mother!" "Just advice, Charles. It's better to wait." Charles blushed deeper. "Shannon and I haven't done anything. But you might in the future. Just be careful." "Yes, Mom," Charles groaned. "Can we change the subject? Are you going out tonight?" "Just to the movies with Shannon." Andrea nodded with a grin and let the topic drop. "Do you think it's wise to help him?" Shannon asked as they settled into their seats at the theater. Charles tried not to groan. He asked. "Max Holmes is George's best friend, and they're both difficult. He's only being nice to you to avoid getting kicked off the football team for bad grades." "Yeah, I know," Charles admitted. "But what else can I do? If I don't help him, he'll make my life miserable. Plus, he'll pay me if he passes the test and stays on the team." Shannon snorted. "It'll be fine," Charles assured her. "Let's watch the movie now. I don't want to miss the Lord of the Rings trailer." "Geek," Shannon teased, turning eagerly to watch the trailer as well. "Hey," Max Holmes greeted as he strolled into the library study room on Monday afternoon. "You're late," Charles noted, glancing pointedly at the wall clock. "Chill out, man," Max advised, settling down at the table. "Look, Max, we've only got about a week before the big exam. You need to pass or you're off the team," Charles reminded him. Max cracked his knuckles. "I'll make sure I do." "Threatening won't help you learn," Charles pointed out. "I'll do my best to help, but you've got to put in the effort or you'll fail anyway." Max nodded. "Now, algebra isn't that difficult." After an hour of tutoring, Charles finally called it quits. "Well, we made some progress, I guess," he sighed, stretching. "I need a burger," Max declared, standing up. "My brain's fried." "Sounds good," Charles agreed. "Mind if I join?" "I'm meeting Ashley," Max said. "Sorry, buddy. Plus, you know how it is with my crowd." "Yeah, sure," Charles shrugged. "Don't take it the wrong way, Chuck," Max added, noting Charles's discomfort with the nickname, "but you don't really fit in with my crew." "See you tomorrow." Charles reclined on his bed, chatting with Shannon on the phone, a nightly ritual for them. "So, he just brushed you off?" Shannon asked. "Yeah," Charles replied. "What did you expect?" Shannon queried. "I dunno. I thought maybe helping him would change things." "Well, at least he's not bullying you anymore," Shannon noted. Charles felt his body start to tingle. "Not now," he silently pleaded, but it was too late as he transformed into Chelsea. "Damn it, of all times, and in my favorite pajamas," Chelsea lamented, aware of their revealing nature. "What's wrong, Char?" Shannon asked, hearing Chelsea's groan. "Nothing," Chelsea muttered, feeling flustered. "Anyway, after what George did to you, why are you helping his friends?" Shannon questioned. "He said he'd stop the rumors," Chelsea defended herself. "Asterisk rumors?" What rumors? Chelsea felt confused. Shannon snorted. Chelsea was interrupted by a knock on her bedroom door. I think Mom wants me, she hurriedly told Shannon. Okay, talk to you tomorrow, Shannon replied. Chelsea opened the door to find her mom and Jessie waiting. Cute pajamas, Jessie teased as Chelsea blushed. What triggered it this time? Chelsea shrugged helplessly. I have no idea, she muttered. Watch your language, Andrea reminded her. What were you doing just now? Maybe that will give us a clue. I was talking to Shannon about tutoring Max Holmes, Chelsea explained. Jessie shook her head and muttered something under her breath. What? Chelsea demanded, glaring at her. I don't get why you're helping him, Jessie replied. Because he said he'd stop the rumors, Chelsea reiterated. Rumors? Andrea asked, concerned. Chelsea looked pained. I don't know what rumors, but it seems like something involving George and Max. Strange, Andrea murmured. I can guess, Jessie interjected. Considering Chelsea left him hanging. Andrea's expression darkened, and she murmured something quietly. After a moment, she frowned deeply. Seems like young Mr. Thompson's been spreading rumors about scoring with Chelsea. That liar! I'll tear him apart when I see him again. Chelsea seethed with anger. Allison shook her head solemnly. I wouldn't. He's been spreading more lies, said he dumped you and you're upset about it. I won't repeat the rest, but it's clear he's deceiving everyone. Children of Gia aren't usually that clumsy. Jessie raised an eyebrow and blushed. Hope you're being careful, Jessie, Allison remarked at the blush. Mother! Don't sweat it, sis, Chelsea grinned. I got the same lecture Saturday. You're both children of Gia, these things happen. Just be cautious. Yes, Mom, Charles and Jessie responded simultaneously. Back to the main topic, Allison redirected. When did this transformation happen exactly? After Shannon mentioned Max Holmes stopped bullying me, Chelsea recalled. Seems like an unusual trigger, Allison pondered. I'll think about it. It's a school night. Both girls nodded. In the morning, Chelsea grumbled her way to the shower. Dealing with all the usual girl stuff, which she didn't have to as her real self, was bad enough, but now she had stomach cramps. What's wrong? Jessie asked as she emerged from the shower. My stomach's all knotted up, Chelsea told her. Oh no. Jessie tried to suppress a giggle, not very successfully. What? Chelsea frowned. I should have guessed. Mom and I are synced up, Jessie explained, barely containing her laughter. What on earth are you talking about? Unless I'm mistaken, you're starting your period. What? Chelsea exclaimed. Andrea jumped at Chelsea's scream, accidentally breaking an egg in her hand. Wiping her hand on her apron, she hurried to the bathroom. What's happening? She demanded, seeing Chelsea sitting on the toilet in denial and Jessie looking guilty. Chelsea has cramps, Jessie reported. Oh dear, Andrea sighed. It was bound to happen sooner or later. Jessie nodded, struggling not to laugh again. Jessie, this isn't funny. Chelsea snapped, standing up suddenly. Jessie, go, Andrea instructed firmly. Jessie promptly left. What do I do about this, Mom? Chelsea asked urgently. You do what every woman has done since forever, Andrea replied calmly. Live with it. You could take some Midol for the cramps. Midol? Andrea nodded. And after your shower, I'll show you what else you need to know. I suppose. Chelsea trailed off. No magic for this, Andrea said firmly. Gia wouldn't approve. Why not? It's part of life's cycle. You'll have to endure it. At least you'll understand what your sister and I go through every month. Great. Could have done without this lesson. It does mean you'll be Chelsea for at least a week, Andrea noted. Ugh. What if I find the trigger before then? We'll have to wait and see. But for now, it's getting late. Oh. Chelsea rushed into the shower. Call me when you're done. Yes, Mom. Chelsea met up with Shannon before heading to school, feeling miserable despite the slight relief from my doll. I hate this, she grumbled, rubbing her tummy. Bad cramps? Shannon asked sympathetically. Chelsea nodded. Did you bring spares? Spares? Chelsea looked puzzled. Extra pads, you goose. What for? Shannon paused, giving Chelsea a strange look. Before her eyes, Chelsea's face seemed to blur and shift. She shook her head, trying to clear the vision of a male face overlapping her friend's. Shannon, what's wrong? Chelsea asked, alarmed by Shannon's expression. You're not a girl? Shannon questioned. Huh? You've seen me without clothes. You're not a girl, Shannon concluded firmly. Charles? Her voice was uncertain. Chelsea stared at her for a moment, then nodded. It's a long story, she admitted. I want to hear it. What about school? Forget school. I want to know how my boyfriend became my best girlfriend. That's pretty unbelievable, Shannon remarked over her iced tea. The proof is right here, Chelsea snapped, immediately regretting her sharp tone. So, what triggers this spell that switches you between Charles and Chelsea? Shannon inquired. Chelsea nodded. I don't know what causes me to become Chelsea, but switching back to Charles happens after I've learned a lesson. What was the first time? Remember when we started dating? Chelsea asked, and Shannon nodded. That was when I realized true friends and true love matter more than appearances. George, Shannon recalled. Chelsea nodded. It took me a while to see the wonderful girl right in front of me. Shannon blushed. That's the sweetest thing anyone's ever said to me, she admitted. So, what do we do now? I guess we wait it out. You have to keep this to yourself. As if anyone would believe me, Shannon scoffed. Now, why are you tutoring Max Holmes again? Not this again, Chelsea groaned. He promised to stop the rumors if he passes. They're all jerks, so I'll believe it when I see it. The rumors are dying down, though, Chelsea shrugged. At least a bit, I think. And new ones are starting, Shannon pointed out. What? Yeah, the latest is that you're making your way through the football team. I'll. Chelsea's face flushed with anger. Say nothing. It'll only make it worse, Shannon advised. Why? You have a lot to learn about being a girl, Shannon remarked. Tell me something new. The more you deny it, the more they'll believe it. Anyway, we still have to deal with your period. Shannon giggled suddenly. What's so funny? Chelsea asked, sounding annoyed. Shannon tried to stifle her laughter. It's kind of amusing that my boyfriend will now understand exactly what I go through. It's actually kind of neat, now that I think about it. Why does every woman in my life think this is a great learning experience? Chelsea exclaimed, throwing her hands up. Because it is. Although, I have to admit, it bugs me that your Gia is using womanhood as a form of punishment. You'd have to ask my mom about that, Chelsea said with a wry grin. This presents a challenge, Andrea remarked as she studied the two girls before her. How did you figure it out, Shannon? After all, Chelsea is currently presenting as a girl. She didn't have any extra pads and didn't understand why she should, Shannon explained. It caught me off guard. Andrea sighed, nodding in understanding. I didn't even consider that, she admitted. I'm so accustomed to carrying them that I assumed her purse would have some. But perhaps this is the key to solving the problem. Huh? Chelsea looked puzzled. Your sister and I are too close to the magic, Andrea explained. Shannon approaches it without assumptions and notices things we might miss. Both girls nodded in agreement. As for your other question, Shannon, Andrea continued, I can clarify why Gia chose this path. It's not punishment, it's about growth, although I'm certain Charles doesn't yet see it that way. It's a unique opportunity for learning, offering perspectives and insights that might otherwise remain closed. Imagine the depth of understanding we could gain about both genders. Then she's got a lot to learn, Shannon teased with a grin. Hey! Chelsea protested. Well, you do, Shannon countered, and Andrea nodded in agreement. Humph. Now, about skipping school. Max, you're not helping if you're always late. Chelsea scolded as Max Holmes sauntered into the library. Chill, babe. I've got important things to handle, you know, Max replied, taking a seat at the library desk. What could be more important than passing algebra and staying on the team? Chelsea demanded. Why are you giving me a hard time? Is it that time of the month or something? Max taunted. Chelsea blushed. That's none of your business. You are. Max exclaimed. Look, do you want to pass this test or not? Chelsea began gathering her books. Fine. Geez. All right, let's work on some graphing, Chelsea said, pulling out her textbook. Man, my brain's fried, Max commented as he stood up and stretched. But it's starting to click. Good, Chelsea replied with a faint smile, despite the headache creeping in from their lengthy session. You've only got a week left before the test. Don't remind me. Anyways, want to grab a burger? Ha! A burger. You know, a patty between two buns? I know what a burger is. Chelsea retorted. Good. Do you want to get one? What about Ashley? What about her? It's just a burger. Besides, she's busy with Lisa. How did it go? Shannon asked over the phone. Okay, I guess. We grabbed a burger afterward. Seems like Chelsea is more socially accepted than Charles, Chelsea replied. You went for a burger? Shannon pressed. Yeah. So? Was Ashley there? Shannon continued. No. This is a disaster. Shannon, it's just a burger. Chelsea, honey, don't be naive. It doesn't matter that it was just a burger. Half the school thinks you're interested in the football team, and here you are hanging out with one of them. It's not going to help the rumors. How do you think Ashley will react? It wasn't a date. Chelsea protested. It doesn't matter, silly. Ashley will think otherwise. Plus, everyone else will start spreading stories. That doesn't make any sense. Who said rumors have to make sense? Shannon replied. They just have to sound somewhat believable. With what George spread around, this fits the narrative. I hate being a girl. It has its perks. When do I get to see them? Chelsea grumbled. Bitch. Chelsea sighed and finished drying her hands before turning to face an angry Ashley Ferguson. Look, Ashley, we just grabbed a burger after studying. That's it. Yeah, right. I heard about you, and you'd better stay away from my boyfriend. Ashley accused. Or. Chelsea was growing weary of the shouting, aggravated further by her cramps. Ashley glared, hands on her hips. Listen, you don't want to mess with me. I can make your life miserable at this school. As if it could get any worse, Chelsea snapped back. I've already got cramps. I don't need you yelling at me over a burger. I don't want your boyfriend, so back off. What's wrong with my boyfriend? Huh? You think you can do better? You couldn't even satisfy George. You're not making any sense. I didn't do anything with George. Yeah, right. Stay away from Max or you'll regret it. Whatever, Chelsea dismissed Ashley, pushing past her and leaving the bathroom. She spotted Shannon down the hall and motioned for her to wait. You look upset, Shannon observed as Chelsea caught up. Ashley was hassling me, Chelsea admitted. See, I told you. Shannon? Yeah. Shut up. Shannon stuck out her tongue. Chelsea shook her head. What's the big deal? It's just a burger, Max remarked as they packed up their algebra books. You wouldn't understand. Why don't you just call Ashley and go out? Ashley's being difficult for some reason, Max grumbled. Like I said, you don't get it. Yeah, well, she's starting to bore me anyway. Are you sure you don't want a burger? No thanks, I need to get home, Chelsea replied. Suit yourself. Hold still. Shannon instructed, deftly applying sparkly red nail polish to Chelsea's toenails. Why do I need this again? Chelsea asked, attempting to keep her feet steady. It looks nice. Oh, I see. You know, Chelsea, sometimes it's nice to be pampered and look pretty, Shannon remarked. What difference does it make? Chelsea questioned. Coming from the natural beauty lying on the bed. That fantasy girl you had envisioned as Charles. I'm not feeling very Charles-like right now. It's daunting to think I don't match up to your beauty ideals, Shannon admitted, glancing up from her task. My perception of beauty has definitely shifted, Chelsea responded. Really? Really? This whole thing is a bit surreal, Shannon commented, returning the brush to the bottle. You're telling me? I didn't even know magic existed until now. That's quite an adjustment. And my boyfriend is currently a girl who's prettier than me. I'm sorry, Chelsea said sincerely. Don't be, Shannon reassured her. I just miss Charles. I want to hold his hand. I'm still Charles, Chelsea reminded her. I know, but you're not, if that makes sense. Chelsea nodded. I still love you, I feel it, but I'm not attracted to you right now, Shannon confessed. I guess I'm pretty straight. Me too. What do you mean? When I'm like this, I'm attracted to guys. It's like I can't help it. When I'm Charles, I'm into girls. I'm straight in a twisted way. Shannon laughed. Cute toes, Jessie grinned, emerging from the bathroom to let Chelsea in. Chelsea stuck out her tongue. Only if you mean it. Jessie teased. Oh, gross. Chelsea grumbled. Jessie laughed. Looks like Shannon had fun with you, she remarked. Yeah, Chelsea nodded. She's determined I experience everything. I think Mom's right. Gia must have intended for her to understand. Maybe, Chelsea shrugged as she took over the bathroom. It's odd having her know. She's lucky, Jessie mused, her eyes distant. Huh? Not specifically you, you're still my silly brother even as my sister now. I mean, it would be enlightening if all guys could understand what it's like. I could have lived without it, Chelsea grumbled, stepping into the shower. Well, at least I get more bathroom time, Jessie quipped. Don't get too comfortable, Chelsea called back. So, what made you go out with Max Holmes the other day? Jessie asked as they gathered for breakfast. It was just a burger. Chelsea snapped. A date? Andrea raised an eyebrow, looking up from her morning paper. It wasn't a date, Chelsea explained patiently. We just went for a burger after studying. Sounds like a date to me, Andrea remarked. It wasn't. The rumor mill at school has been going wild lately, Jessie chimed in. Ashley Ferguson is pretty upset with both Max and Chelsea. Ugh, Chelsea groaned. I turned down another burger invitation a few days ago after all that drama. Yeah, but you're still seeing him after school every day, Jessie pointed out. We're studying in the library. Jessie shrugged. How much longer? Andrea inquired. Today's the last day, Chelsea admitted. The exam is tomorrow. Good. You're telling me. Well, that's that, Chelsea remarked, closing the algebra book. You're as ready as you'll ever be. I guess, Max replied, standing and stretching. Don't forget your promise, Chelsea reminded him pointedly. I still need to pass. You will pass, so don't forget, Chelsea insisted. Max just grinned at her. I mean it. Chelsea stamped her foot. I'm not on your list of conquests, Max joked. What? Consider yourself fortunate. What's that supposed to mean? I have a reputation to maintain. Jerk. Settle down, Char, Shannon intervened. Aren't you going to tell me I told you so? Shannon shook her head. Thanks, Chelsea sighed, calming down. I just can't believe what he said. I can. What? They're wolves, Chelsea. All they care about is themselves. You should already know that. Will he pass? Chelsea nodded. Too bad, Shannon muttered. I guess I should have seen it coming. He'll get his payback someday, though. You know why I love you? Shannon asked. I wonder about that sometimes, Chelsea grinned. Shannon punched her lightly on the arm. You're a good person, Chelsea. Don't stop being one just because some people are jerks. Chelsea felt the telltale tingle. It's happening, she said. Now? Chelsea nodded, but then the sensation faded. What happened? I didn't change. Are you sure that's what it was? I'm sure. Damn it. What? I'm still having my period, Chelsea explained. I was afraid of that. I don't get it, Shannon admitted. I can't change back if I'm pregnant or having my period. Oh, Shannon grimaced. Oh. Just. Does that mean you're stuck? I don't know, Chelsea admitted, sounding disheartened. I hope not. Me too.